Hey guys and gals, let's build the apartment building by Lego City. This is set number 60365. Contains 688 bricks. Retails for $94.99. And the set was provided by the Lego Group for early review. So this is essentially what we're building here. And we're going to take a look here. And it just jumps right on in. There is 7 bags in total. And a couple things that I'm looking at, is this going to be a family build? Is this going to be where you can build with, one or more partners? And then we already have the parts for bag 1 keyed up right here. Now I need to find the bulk bin, which I have misplaced, and we're going to get started. And I'm just debating if I should do this in one installment or 2. So we'll see how well it goes here. So we need to do a little Lego math. And we're going to grab some parts here. Yeah, so we're going to get going here and see if we can finish this one up in one sitting. I don't know how long it's going to take, and there's 3 booklets. So I'm not going to break this up into individual manuals. So we got to do some minifigures. So let's start with bag 1. Let's build it. And we're going to see exactly here what we got to do. So you got to go through all the big pieces to get out all the little minifigure parts. So now this one here is asking for helmets and stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to pull out all the components. Okay, we got one here. And then we have one with his mouth dropped open. Like he's got a disgusted look on his face. Matter of fact, he's got a short curly crop there. Get him done. And he's trying to lift up these heavy skateboard wheels. So he's using these as barbells. Not too bad. Okay, enough of him. And then we have this one here. And I'm just going to try to breeze through this. I only have, including this one to finish up, is 8 sets. Whoa. I have 8 sets left to get done. So, I'm hoping to try to finish it up. And he's essentially done. Okay. So, put him over there. And this is a bedside build, and it is like 1 in the morning right now, and essentially I gotta be quiet. People are supposed to be asleep here, and trying to get this in here is a pain, and just don't shove them in. I've had these things break back in the day, so I try to avoid it as much as I can, as I have to split them apart with my fingernail, just kind of pry them apart. Back ones are the same thing, I just have to pry it apart a little bit. There you go. And they have 2 transparent studs. They have one in the back, probably to fix the helmet to. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. We're going to do that because when I do the initial build of this, or the tour, I'm not even going to have him on the bike. And I don't really have any important rants. Well, I'm missing a stud already. When I was doing the unboxing, I had a few pieces that fell on the floor. I retrieved them, but I tried to put them all in bag number 1. And then, there you go. If your helmet doesn't fit, put the short side towards the seat. And there you go. Okay, enough of the boring stuff. Now we can get to the big things. So, I have not done any tutorials, nothing custom. Guys and gals, I am still doing set reviews. It just doesn't stop, you know. I'm still trying to crank these out. I'm trying to do the largest down to the smallest. Since this has 688 bricks, the next one I think has got 500 and something. So I'm slowly going to get these done, well, swiftly get them done as soon as possible, so I can go about my business and make my own stuff. So I'm trying to do that, and trying to get everything finished up here. Some kind of a ramp here, and it goes into here. Yeah, some people just don't like the rules, but they're still here. I'm not talking about YouTube. And I'm just kind of tired, worn out. I used to get a couple of these. They don't have the glass in them, but and some trash cans. There's supposed to be like a little carport or something, or maybe just a little storage area. And you get one of these lime green trash cans too, which is really cool. So yeah, at least I'm getting some stuff done. And we throw the ice cubes in the trash can, and you put 2 carrot tops in here. So this is obviously the green bin. Okay. I don't think those came with lids, so you're just going to have to do whatever you can with them. Okay. And so far, this is not a bad build. It's just, we just started, so I can't really give a baseline for this. This did come with stickers. Oh, here they are. And that's all you get, which is fine by me. Yeah, I don't want to deal with stickers. Yeah, I wish we had glass to put around that. And I'm gonna see here about getting this done in one sitting. And if it approaches over an hour, I'm gonna split it unless I'm like on bag 5 or something. And yeah, I'm just trying to get everything situated and finished up here so I can do some fun stuff here. I got a couple of other projects I'd like to build, and it just so happens that these sets are in my way. Matter of fact, I don't even need any of the parts from these for any of my mocks. I just need to get them done so I can start. Let's make sure that these are going in the right direction here, just so I can start doing more of the custom stuff. Okay. And like we're missing one radiator grill. Was that one of the pieces that floated into another bag? And it doesn't matter because I got plenty of those. It probably rolled in another bag. So let me go get one of those real quick. Yeah, to go scrounge one up. turns up later than we know where it went. Sometimes the manual will eat them too. Matter of fact, when I was picking up the parts, the manual was just flinging pieces around, so I just had to deal with it. So the whole intent of this review here, this build, is to see if this is really isolated. And yeah, we got this big blue thing here. And step number one is that. I know where this goes, probably in a later bag. And they have the bicycle thing. I don't think it really matters. This is probably the bicycle lane or the bicycle parking. And they show right here, if you make a mistake, just use your carrot top in there. That's what we have right here. So if you don't like what you did, you can do that. All right. I'm probably assuming that goes there. And that's exactly what that does. And not too bad for bad one. Okay, let's move to bag 2. Oh, there's the radiator grill. It's hiding underneath the brick separator. Well, we will not worry about that. Alright, so we haven't used the stickers yet. Feet are ready to go. And this one's got some nice colors up to a point. You'll see why in a bit, why I say up to a point. So far, colors are really bright and cheerful on this set right here. And what's going to happen is we're going to have to raise this thing up slowly every time we do this. So let's do the minifigure. And yes, you get some of these and they're scratched up. I already did the initial unboxing, so whatever scratches are in there now, that'd be my fault. So let's see. Okay, we just need to do this guy here. So I have been so busy doing set reviews. I'm kind of getting burned out, but I'm trying to mix up themes. Mostly it's just a city set build, and that's all I've been doing. And he's missing a wig, and I need this in medium nougat. For those of you who've probably seen me on camera before, that's what my hair looks like when it's grown out a little bit. So maybe we'll get lucky and find that in the appropriate color. And I need one of these. So he's done. Let me make sure. And yeah, we're already halfway through manual 1 already. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So essentially this is supposed to be just some kind of futuristic apartment building, but it's not quite what I'm used to. Yeah, so making sure everything's recording here. So what is this going to look like? I have no clue. So the set so far is at a 10. So if anybody wants to know the score right now, it's at a 10. I think maybe I'm going to drop it down to a 9 because of the scratched parts, but I'll double check as we go. And I'm not the only one receiving such parts like that, you know. Now, when I build my stuff, I don't ever use these really bright colors. But just to make the builds interesting, that's what you do. If any of you ever had the Lego Simpsons set, you probably built with those really bright colors, that Simpsons house. And despite that being a pretty much a detailed playable model, it's got a lot of bright colors in there, so it's, you know, it makes the build fun. When I build my own stuff, I try to build realistic stuff. So I don't try to use, you know, purposely, like I'm gonna have a bright blue dining room table with lime green chairs. It just would not, it just wouldn't work for me. You know, I don't like doing that. But for something like this, it's okay if you do. So maybe we can do that there. Yeah, so I'm kind of uploading a bunch of stuff right now. I mean, literally just, you would not imagine how much videos I have uploaded. I'm uploading, it's like now I'm releasing a video every day but Saturday. Saturdays is my day off from messing with that. It gives me a chance to catch up. And Fridays are mock days. So mock or tutorials are usually released on Fridays. So that means Sunday through Thursdays at the moment are used strictly for this stuff. That's how I'm doing it, you know. There we go. Yeah. So far everything is pretty isolated in here, so that piece there is not connected to this one in any way. If it connected at the very last step, it's family ready. Alright, so let's get ready to attach a window here. And this one here has, let me get that in there real quick and I'll show you, it has a ding in it. Right there. And I know to a child that wouldn't make a big deal, but for an adult, yes it does, because these are expensive sets. This is $95 and you're getting something that's scuffed up. I mean, it's not acceptable, guys and gals. So for me, you know, yeah, I'll be throwing a fit, but at least I'm not going to lie to you and tell you otherwise. I've been thinking about putting this camera where I'm sitting at here and just kind of looking over the top of it. I'm thinking about it. And okay, they want us to put this thing together first. We're going to be using our very first sticker, which is sticker number 1, which is that one there. And maybe this is like some little convenience store. There you go. Oh, there's a piece that goes on the top. That's not too bad. It's got a nice color scheme to it, huh? But yeah, I'm just, that's why I said the reviews are a job. So I literally have a database or a spreadsheet set up with the reviews and everything like that. With the schedule, I'm itemizing time to do it. Kind of reminds me of a little slushing machine. And that's what this is. But that's what I'm doing essentially now. I'm just itemizing my time. I swore I was never going to do that, but you know, things change. It's not like doing mocks or tutorials. Those are my personal projects. I don't mind doing those at all. So I think this is some kind of a little beverage bar, maybe a convenience store. I don't know what this is here. That's kind of crooked. Alrighty. And we got a couple of orange bricks here. This should went in first. It's just a bunch of 2x2s. Maybe it's a little counter or something. So far it's really bright and colorful. But stay tuned for later segments. You will understand why. See, I gotta squeeze my hand to get those in there. That's probably not good. I've been looking at the comments on some of the set reviews that I have, and I tell you, a lot of people here do not like Lego Disney. If you spot a mini doll, they have, or the pastels, they have nothing to do with it at all. And this one's got some scratches on there. It shows up on something black, but like this one's just got scratches all over the place. Strike two, then I'll have to knock it down a whole point regardless. Alrighty. Got a window there. And this is what I'm saying. Lego needs to bring these out in 6 stud long form, or 6 brick high, just for that purpose. Yeah, I got a couple of ideas I'd like to build for some more mocks. Basically now I have the trees and the stuff for the terrain, and I've been thinking of a log cabin or something. Maybe a cabin in the woods. That'd be a really cool mock. If I want to do a snowy cabin in the woods, well, I don't have any pieces to make that. I got to thinking how many snowy pieces would I need to get for the trees? A lot. And this one here has... Okay, I need to put those stickers somewhere else. They keep eating up my parts. I just need to figure out how I want to do this here. Okay, they want us to put a sticker on that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the sign first. And that's number 3. Now, the reason why they're doing that is so you don't mix up the orientation. As long as the clip is vertical, it's not too bad. Yeah, that could have been a little better. So, wish that was printed. And we have a little basket here. So set that there. I like it when the parts are fixed. So maybe that's the shopping basket. Alrighty. And, oh, we're going to have to put a sticker on one of these doors. Alright, well, let's see here. This one here has got a scuff. That's the one we'll get the sticker. This one here is just, it's got a single pit, but that's fine. I can live with the pits. It's just the scuffs. So number 5 will go on this, and it says open. Sadly, it's not open now. Well, that door fell out. Be careful putting this. Put the sticker on the door first. I pushed it in, it just sunk in like that. See? It just came out. So you gotta be careful with these. This thing up here is not as high as the sides, so you think they would have dropped this thing down a little thicker. Alright, and then this goes here. And I forgot to put the doorknobs on that, huh? Well, we will do that right now. Okay, that's one. If you forget something, you can just put it on later. I really want to see how good this thing is for family builds. And there you go. So Jay, you ever gonna get all this done? Eventually. I've already had a comment or two about their, viewers are getting tired of the reviews, and I'm sorry, but that's how it's going to be. You just have to live with it. But at least it's something. At least it's more parts for more mocks and stuff, huh? Something new, something with different colors. Like these are 1x16s. I may build a camper with those. You don't know. You just don't know what I'll do. All right, then we just got to wrap the box in. This thing's open, I think, on two sides. When the whole build is done. Okay, so it's easier to see it on the inside there. And then I have a feeling that the rest of this in between here will be full of radiator grills, which it will be, so I'm just going to start dropping parts down in here. And then we have more stickers to put on after this. We're defacing a bunch of tiles in here, so we know exactly where those are going to be going in the recycling bin when I'm done. That will probably need a sticker. That will need one. Yeah, I think the whole intent of these is for a builder to not only build this stuff separately, but to have maybe a parent or a guardian to build along, or a few friends, you know, family members, a loved one. And that's pretty much how that is it. Okay, so now for step 49, we're going to have to place stickers on tiles. These two. Right here. Alright, so we're going to do the 24/7. What, no 7-Eleven in this one? Okay. And we obviously serve hot dogs and drinks here, but I cannot get the sticker on the tile. There we go. So we got some hot dogs and drinks. I haven't seen the hot dogs, but I've seen the drinks. And this thing here gives me an extra one of these. It goes here. It doesn't really tell you. Yeah, it doesn't tell you. So you're just going to have to guess. And wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, that goes there. Wait a minute. Yeah, that doesn't go there. Pop that out real quick. So it gave me an extra one of these. Now, obviously, this is the build quality is gonna lack on this one because it's gonna be one of these ones that we're gonna have to put on the base. We had one extra one of these. I don't know. You think they'd have that one blue there? Doesn't show that anywhere else. So wherever this stuff came out, I don't know. And where did these come from? Let me look. I could be missing something. I have no clue. And remember when I said I was going through the parts and some stuff got kind of mixed up. And yeah, I don't see where these other ones go. So, oh, I see where these went. Okay, they went inside these little jars here. So what do? There's a couple ways to do that. I'm just going to set that in there. Stick this tile in here and kind of push it down. I got one in. That's what happens when you forget those. You just kind of figure it out, or set it like that. And everything out of the recycling bin has to fall out. All right, let me just pop this thing off here. It'd be faster. Yep, that was my fault there. And there's no easy way to get that in there, so if you forget that, you're in deep duty. So I'm just going to take this tile kind of stick that in there. And there you go, it goes back in. So that takes care of that. See, when you forget something, you just check it out and stuff like that. And so far, I don't know, I'm just kind of looking at this thing and it's already starting to flake apart a bit. And for me personally, you know, my mixed emotions on the set. I'm looking at playability right now. And I'm missing the carrot top. Oh, there it is. And that's it. So we had this extra blue tile. Not sure where that goes, but this is the other stuff we have remaining. All right, now we're gonna move on to bag 3, and so far it's pretty much isolated. So one person's gonna have to build the first one in order to attach the second one, but they're still isolated nonetheless. That means that it'll be a little easier to do that. Now, we are going to proceed on, well, with manual 2. All right, so that takes care of that one. I think we spent about 18-19 minutes on that last section, so I'm gonna have to pep this up. I think I'm gonna have to split this thing down into sections. If I do, it'll probably, I don't know, we'll see how we can do this here. So we just gotta build this gal here. First I gotta find all her body parts. And I'm starting to see this minifigure head a lot. She's got the light bluish gray wig. She looks like that grumpy old lady that lives downstairs and gets mad when you stomp on the floor. When you're, because she lives downstairs and she's one of those angry neighbors. Probably takes your ball away. That kind of thing. Making sure we're recording. So it looks like this is going to be the little scooter on the box. And it gives you somewhat of a base here for the scooter. So, you know. And you'll have to put all those tires on yourself. Now, so it's one of these mobility scooters. Let's put the seat on while I see it. My dad has one of those mobility scooters where, you know, you have a disabled, if you're disabled and you can't walk or you can't walk long distances, but you still want to enjoy the outdoors and stuff and still be independent, that's what you would use. I don't like them, I like to walk. I mean, I can't stand sitting for too long. Like doing this is, sometimes it gets to be a little too much. And then still feel kind of wobbly here. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think that's it. And we got to put the handlebar on there. So this is not too bad. And the custom piece, do you need it? Probably not. And she just sits in here. So we'll get her hands prepared here for it. It's better to get your minifigures prepared while they're outside the vehicle. Then we can set her down in there. Use the tilt wheel method. We'll just keep lining up her hands, and that's how you do it. Yeah, not too bad. And we're done with hairs. So here, get lost. let's start with the next one here. And I so far haven't really seen any apartment style building yet. So let's get going here. So I haven't seen any apartment style building yet. The only thing I've seen so far is the grocery store, the little recycling area, and then the road. But we're doing this, so we're gonna see here exactly how we're going to build this. And I'm sure if you've watched the review on the Lego City Center, I'm betting that this is probably meant to be compatible with this or the ice cream shop. You can just mix and match parts together. So that's what I'm assuming that they're doing here with these. Okay, that's what I'm guessing. I need to put this right here. So I'm just guessing that that's what they're doing with this set. It's, you know. Now, by all means, this is not going to be a J-Stiffer style build. This is not going to be heavily detailed and all that stuff. They're going to be playable, but it's not going to be heavily detailed and completely scaled for figures. This is probably going to be some kind of a stripped down version of an apartment building. Probably you get maybe a stove in one room and a sink in another room and a bed in another room, and that's pretty much how it is. Well, maybe we are talking about that, but this time we're talking about an oven here. So there you go. Get an oven. Alrighty. And then we need a little lid on there. I'm really surprised Lego has never came up with official kitchen stuff like they did back in the old days. And then we stick that right in there. And building with very basic bricks kind of brings back to the childhood years of building things out of Lego. You know, to keep it very simple, you don't need to have the most up-to-date parts. You know, I've always used to see, you know, how these guys get these really rare pieces, and of course I'm one of them now, but at the end of the day, I like to just build out of basic parts. This is very basic except for this, but this is basic. But you use your imagination. You got your stove, your oven, and your sink. All we're missing is the fridge. We got the frying pan on here. I don't know if I can pick it up. And we're gonna fry up some calamari or something. I don't know. And black is kind of not a good color for the tap for the faucet. Kind of bland. Alrighty. Looks like we are building some sort of, maybe this could be a blender or something, I don't know. Or that thing you'd stick your ground beef or your beef and it turns it into ground beef for you. Or it could be one of those vintage gumball machines too, where you stick like a dime in there and you turn the little handle. Also, this is something I try to avoid too. When I'm building my own creations, it should be self-contained and you should never walk out of the void to get back into a build. Okay, we're going to be making some bar stools here. So either this is an apartment here, or this is just like a kitchen, like a restaurant kitchen. From what it looks like to me, this looks more residential. So I'm assuming this is just like a residential kitchen. There's lots of windows. Let's see if these are scuffed up. Yeah. Yeah. This one's good. Okay. And we will set that in there. Jay, you're gonna check every one of those? You betcha. Because we're getting close to dinging it down here, and there's a little pit in this one. If I see one more little pit and I'm dinging her down, I'm nitpicking it. I don't know why we're using blue, unless it's meant to, when you look outside it looks kind of blue, like you have it like a sky, you know. Alright, yeah, for $95, we shouldn't see any scuffs or scratches. That's not bad. We're going to put that in there. And starting to see pits. See a few more of those. I'm dropping her down to a 9 instantly. You know, if this has stickers, it's kind of like teeter-tottering between a 9 and a 10 right now with this scratched pieces. I forgot to put one there. Mighty drafty, huh? I've been seeing these a lot lately. I have some of them in medium azure, and I think I have some in yellow, but these are good for all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I may just come in here and do the whole build tonight. There we go. And if I decide to split it up into installments, I'll just do that, because it's easy to edit an hour-long video than doing a massive 2.5 hour long one. At that point, I kind of lose interest, and I'm kind of like, meh, I don't want to deal with it anymore. You know, I mean, well, that's not too fun, unless that's where the air condition goes or something, like those little air conditions you see from a hotel room where they kind of hang out of the wall. My shop has a few of those. They're off of one unit, one central compressor, and it feeds to a bunch of those. Forgot to put that there. And it's called a ductless system. That's how we're doing things out here now, and I kind of wish, that's not supposed to go there, I kind of wish all the rooms in my house had the ductless, but then I can flip on the air in one room, and the other room I can leave it off, and it would actually save a lot of power. I've been kind of thinking about doing it eventually, doing it myself, and then just have a guy come out here and put some refrigerant in it. So basically you would just run, instead of running one big massive fan to cool down the house. Oh man, I'm really messing up here. Like, I'm not even paying attention doing this, but that's how it's supposed to be. I knew I'd get it right eventually, but that's how we're doing the ductless system, and I forgot to put that there. Man, I am sloppy tonight, huh? Well, let's just kind of pry that up. There we go. Stick that right in there, and we'll plop that back down in there, huh? Get that to fit in there. There we go. If you forget things, just stick it in there. And we're not done yet. I still got a few pieces here. We still got one sticker left. So I do like these collaborative builds. They're kind of cool. Wait a minute, we're missing the 2x4 plate. There it is. I was looking at that thinking, that'll be a little too rough for this. And there you go. And stick that right here. Okay. And that is it for bag 3. Alright, now we're going to move on to bag 2, and this one doesn't connect to anything yet, so I'm going to slide that over there. And I got one video uploaded, so that's good news there. And yes, it's a review. The ones that I'm uploading now are, it's 2 builds and 1 unboxing. So you'll see those very shortly in your inbox. I don't know when, but and we'll see how it goes. All right. Okay, so now I got to pay attention and hope I don't mess up. And the 1x1 here. I noticed there wasn't a minifigure, so I think we got rid of all the figures in this set. And we've already got a kitchen built. Maybe this is the 1-room apartment. We don't even know. Looking for a black tile. There it is. Right there. And we have to do that again. Got some glass pieces. We'll set those right there. See how bad those are. Remember, I got one more strike left and I have to ding it down a whole point. Okay. Alrighty, so now I'm trying to figure out a way to position this in such a way that what you see is what I see and what we see in the manual. Well, I found a boo-boo in this book. Okay, we put this tile here, but guess what? We're missing these pieces here. Then it tells you to put these pieces in here. So I'll show you. So here's step 77. Here's 78. And here's 79. Okay, well, if you get your copy of this set, just note that there's a mistake there. So be careful. If you're looking for just a 1x4 brick right here, this is what you need. Just flip it around. Okay. So we found a boo-boo in the book. Now, am I going to let Lego know that? No. Why? It's not my job. You know, to point out, I'm not an editor. I'm not getting paid to edit their stuff. Fans do it for me because a lot of this stuff is open for you guys and gals to build. But when I'm building and selling a building guide, I'd best have that sucker completely error-free. That's why it takes me a long time to write up a building guide. So you don't have to correct my mistakes. Maybe this is going to be a bed or something. I don't know what this is here. Okay, I see what it is. I saw it at the end of the book, at the end of the page. And you guessed it. We're going to need a couple. We're going to need that last sticker off of that. Okay, and then it's a TV set. Yeah, so how do we watch TV in Lego? We just pull out the sticker bin and drop a sticker on that. So basically we're watching motocross. And that's, we don't have any more stickers. Alrighty. And that's not a bad little TV. It's more modern than what I usually build, but Well, that doesn't look like it's even fitting in there. There we go. And maybe this is going to be a sofa. Do I ding off for instruction manual errors? It depends, you know. I inferred that real quick. I'm sure a younger builder is going to scratch their heads. But for me, it was okay. I start seeing a bunch of errors in here, then I'll start minusing off points. And then some say it's mean, but then again, I got to make 2 of these here. Some may say it's mean, but that's how it is. And this assembly goes there. Okay. Yeah, I've been thinking about how I want to get some of my projects done. I'm trying to think of ways to do things faster, like these. This is what I call a manual labor job or physical labor. I can't just run this through a computer, you know. Because, yes, I can get all the parts, put it in stud and have it do that for me. But then again, that's not gonna, it won't tell me how the build is. So instead of relying on a computer program to do that, I build it physically. One of those little stud flowers. Yeah, tonight I had a steak dinner. Oh, and today is, I think, the 30th. Well, this morning is the 30th of June, or May 2023. And Lego, we're on the fringe here. I don't see any scratches yet, but at least now. Oh yeah, I have to, that means this week is going to be fast food week. Yuckaroo. Oh yeah, nice scratches there. I'm not even done yet, and it's on both sides. So Lego, this is already down to a 9. I always ding a point off for scratched pieces. And yeah, I'm checking everything now. And will I let them know on the Ambassador Network? Yep, when I do the paperwork reviews, when I go and talk about my experiences in the set and what my fans have to say about it. This gives you a chance to voice your opinions, and I can forward that to the Lego group. I mean, here's the deal. They made a beautiful building block, right? Really good, durable block. And then they pack it like it's one of those knockoff brands. They don't like hearing that, but it's true. And for someone like myself who coughs up money for this stuff, I don't want to see this stuff scuffed or scratched, you know. It's not fun when you buy something new and it comes in worse condition than a second-hand one. All right. Now, I got to pay attention and get these on correctly. So, start putting things on here. So far so good. It looks just like the picture, so I haven't messed up. So each one of these builds, I say, takes about 15-20 minutes to build. Unless you're just in a hurry and you want to make mistakes. Alright, we're missing some parts. The big bad manual will chew them up. Like I said, I was doing the unboxing, and we're missing this one here. So I know it wasn't on the floor. Let me finish this up. I'm gonna have to get one more of those, because it still may turn up here. Okay. Oops, I didn't go like that. It's probably what was warning me. These are going to be used as like little blocks to join things. So if you've got something you don't want to see a hole here, these make good planters. Or you can make some air conditions out of them too. We're not done yet. Oh, okay. I see what we're building here. And green, orange, and red. And that's it. And for the most part, that's what we're done with manual 2. And I'm missing one piece. So I have a feeling that piece probably is in one of those other bags. So I'm going to go get that real quick, and that's what we have remaining. Okay, we're going to attach this up here. And then we're going to attach the traffic light here. I think this is probably going to go over that one area. And, well, it didn't show it on the book, so let me check real quick. It's better to double check now instead of making mistakes. And yeah, we're actually going to have to stick the floors on now, both floors. So, let's see here. I may have to start readjusting things here. So now, this part goes here. What they show in the book, though, you have to join these two things up together. So it'd be easier to show you here. Let me do it way back here then. Just kind of rock those in place. There we go. Now, set that right on top. Yeah, that's not too bad, but this is kind of sloppy there, so I don't know what that's about, as well as there. But that's what it is so far. Kind of looks like one of those little hotels. I think we're about an hour into this. I'm going to go ahead and do this in one installment. It's only got bags 5, 6, and 7 left to do. And I'm just going to breeze through it real quick. And I think I'm going to do is save the review for later in the day. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, that's how we're doing it. And you should be on manual 3 by now. Oh, I thought we were done with minifigures. No, we got one more we got to build. So, time to hit a road bump and start going slow. That means that we're going to have to mess with these for about 5 minutes. So she's got the glasses and then double-sided head. It's not a bad hairstyle on her. And she has some pretty unique pants in here. They're they're iron leggings. Yeah, she's, I don't know, I mean, maybe they're supposed to be leather pants, I have no clue. And she's got a cell phone or an MP3 player right in her hand here. So, yeah, not too bad. And that's it for her. Slide her out of the way, now we can do the fun stuff. Okay. Yeah, so far it's not a bad build. It's pretty interesting. If I was getting bored, I would have already thrown in the towel and said I'll do it tomorrow. Well, I haven't thrown in the towel yet, so we're fine. Plus, I gotta wait for 2 files to get done uploading. I have 1 done. I got 2 more left. Uncompressed, so it's going to take some time to get them done. So I'm gonna get them done this morning. And we got some more pieces here. We already deaned it down, so we don't even have to check anymore. Still gonna do it for your entertainment. And I'm missing a friction pin. There it is. All right. Found out some people actually watch these just to kind of get a sense of what's going on with the build. This is something he or she is interested in, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's how it is. Okay, so far so good. And yeah, this is far from a campground build or anything. Maybe we can put some trees and put it on a hill somewhere and make it into a cabin. What they're doing here, and I think this might be a shower stall, because they have this wall element here and they have this probably as a knob. Could be a bathtub too. It's not a bad idea. They're a little too high, but we don't know what this is yet. But if that's a bathtub, that'd be pretty cool, but just a little deep. Okay. And start sticking other bricks here. I need to find me my faucet. Stick the faucet on there. And make sure it's not a mistake here. Okay, I did skip the faucet. Okay. We're trying to look for bloopers too. I've been finding a couple of those. Alright. Yeah, but you can see that I'm interested in this build. So this is not something pretty slimy. And I got a bunch more sets that I want to build too, but one of them I'm not really sure about, but the rest of them, you know, I don't know. I have to wait till I get to them. I can't just judge off the box. It just wouldn't make any sense. So indeed, this is a bathroom. How do I know that? You probably already can guess what that is right there. Is a toilet by the void. So obviously the hole's really small, so you throw your toilet paper outside into the void and never to be seen again. That's how they're doing it in here, huh? Trying to build this to where it makes sense to you in the manual too. Like I said, when I do these, I kind of try to figure out how to improve them. So when I re-watch these to do my own edits, then I'm trying to build them up. I'd say this is a modern prison cell, but it's got a bathtub in there and it's too large. It's probably a little day bed. That color almost looks like a hospital bed. Hard to say. Well, it's definitely a bathroom now. We got a toilet and a bathtub. But what are we missing? A sink. And mirror and all that other stuff. Alright, so now we're going to have to put a bunch of windows in the bathroom. And Lego, I still see some scuffs in there. You need to do something about that, because I'm dinging hard. We ain't playing anymore. I mean, when I have to see stuff like that right there, that is not making me happy. Well, Jay, what does it matter, you know? You didn't pay for it, still. Well, Jay, you don't use these parts. Like, see that? Right there, that's kind of nonsense. What can we do? Really nothing. Now, if this was a consumer set and it bothers you, you can contact Lego and they'll send you replacement parts if they're scuffed, and just say, hey, you need to fix this. And you'll have to wait probably 2 weeks to get the parts just so you can swap them out. And at that time, you pretty much forgot what the parts were for. And you think you'd have put block glass or something in there. Ooh, yuck. You can probably see that. Look how discolored that is. It's brand new, but yikes. You know, I mean, honestly, it looks like I've got a used Lego set. I know it's brand new. It hasn't been released yet, but so now we got, not only we got scratch pieces, but a few pieces got some inconsistencies. It's probably from another mold. And I don't get mad over things like that because that's hard to control. We got a door frame without a door. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Okay. We already know that the 1x10s go in here, but this piece is new, so it goes here. Boy, that is wiggly. Look how wiggly that is. My goodness, Lego. So far, I'm going to say the build quality on this is kind of average. You know, I mean, if you're buying this set, you're going to... It's keeping my interest, but I think for the most part, the build is average. I'm not going by off the style of it because that's not fair. This is not my style of building by any means, but yeah. Okay, wait a minute. I have to redact that comment because guess what? They're using corner tiles to strengthen that up. So now we can go back to what we were before. That means that last corner tile that we're missing is probably in the last bag. Because I did bags, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. I think 3 might have been next to that. I don't know. Could have fell on the floor, but that's what we have remaining. All right, now we're going to be focusing on bag 6, and we got another minifigure. Well, at least the set for what it is comes with some minifigures, and some decent ones at that. So I'm not gonna kind of focus on that too much on that, but it's, you know, it is what it is. And don't worry, we're gonna get this done, and we're gonna do a rough review, and then later on in the day, I'm gonna do the final review. I don't know if I'm going to focus on doing... Ooh. I don't know if I'm going to focus on doing the minifigure stuff. Does this even go anywhere or no? I didn't even look. No. So I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. Like, am I going to... She's excited. And she's sleepy. I don't know if that's a girl. So I cheated and I saw the wig. Talking about an updo. Alright, and then she's got a hot dog. And then there's a bun in here. So now we know where the hot dog came from. Remember that sign we did back, I think in bag 1 or 2? Yeah. Well, I got the hot dog there. There's 2 hot dogs. And I think we only have 1 bun. I always give you an extra in case you lose, but the buns they're not so generous on. Okay. It's a really good accessory piece, especially if you're building parks or something. And okay. So I don't know, maybe this is the child's room. So far I think this is just a 1-room apartment complex, just one. You know, just 1 room. One. Jay, is it really 1? Yes, it's 1. Don't worry, it's just 1. It's a 1-room apartment. Looks like we're building ourselves probably a dinette booth here. Not sure. Now these pieces, now I haven't built a camper in a while that uses the seats, but these would make great seat bottoms for booths. You know, like the dinette booth. Those would look really good for those. And yes, I know I'm overdue for another modern camper build, but I can't do it right now, not with all the reviews that I have to do. But here's the deal. At least I'm getting parts for it. You know, so you're going to get a better build. In fact, I was going to place an order for parts, and I actually had to remove a bunch out of the bin because I was already getting a bunch of the parts through these sets that I've been reviewing. So I guess maybe the work is paying off a little bit, because these type of sets here, like city sets, I can use. I mean, if this was like a Star Wars set or something, yeah, not really. Unless Padme is included. And we can have a lot of fun with Padme. What kind of fun, Jay? It's Padme. Trust me, we'll figure out some fun for her. Okay. Padme. Matter of fact, I should stick Padme. Well, I should do maybe one time, since May the 4th is always Star Wars Day. Do the campground. Do another version of the campground, just to have nothing but Star Wars in there. And then the stormtroopers are all the campground attendants. You know, they oversee the campground, make sure everything's fine. And we got to put them to work somehow. And Darth Vader, he'll be Lord Vader of the campground. He'll be the campground host. So if you're one of those campers that's noisy at night and likes to keep everybody awake past 10, not following the rules, well, you gotta make sure make sure the force is with you. You're gonna need it. And it won't be on your side, especially if you're keeping up all the campers, because everybody's gonna be rooting for Vader to keep you quiet. Okay, I forgot to put the leaves on that there. Ooh, whoa. Gotta be careful there, kind of wobbly. And this set does come with a lot of transparent blue bricks. So, at least we're getting something out of the deal here. I'm thinking about building a different style of pumpkin this year. And based off the building guide that I've already done. So if you have the building guide of my pumpkin, I'm thinking about basing it off of that. So you already have the building instructions. It's pretty much going to be the same. So you can be like, whew, I don't want to have to buy any more building guides. I mean, it may sell the building guides for this. It won't be. It'll be a whole new set of parts. But if you have the original, you can probably piece it together. I have a couple of ways I want to do it, though. But I got to make sure I have all the parts here to build it. So when you get a copy of the building guide, it'll be free. Or matter of fact, here's the deal. If the main channel can get 3 million subs by the end of October, I'll release the building guide and do a video tutorial for free. You know, that'd be kind of cool. And what are we building here? A rooftop pool? Maybe that's what we're doing here. I mean, look at that. That's like blue. I mean, that is like just transparent, straight up light blue, and one of these. It's a pool for one person, a one-person pool. So they don't want you to have pool parties here. And essentially this goes here. And I thought this was like a dining room. No, this is probably an outdoor patio. All right, and then you have to have this one done here. It goes like this. Okay. You actually are going to have, so far it's somewhat isolated, but I'm going to check. All right, so you could still build this stuff here and not even have this piece here. Maybe that's the pool for Padme when she needs to go take a dip, because Anakin literally just stressed her out. You know, in fact, I should just get into the Star Wars stuff, huh? I could come up with some good storylines with those, like doing Friends dolls, you know. Maybe this is Anakin and Padme's summer home where they get away. It's where everybody thinks that Anakin turned to the dark side and Padme passed away. No, that's not how it is. they're just hiding from everybody, hiding in the one apartment complex thing. Oh, man. I almost pinched my finger doing this. Stuff's dangerous. Oh, yikes. Forgot to put these on here. It's probably some kind of a sunroof or something in here. And then there's a fence that goes here. It's like how it is. That's how the book shows it right there. And this goes on the top of this. So basically, these three pieces here can be built without the aid of this middle piece here. So you could still build it, and your partner could still be behind on the other one. You'd be okay. And that's what we have remaining for bag 6. Alright, so now we have bag 7 to tackle, and this is the last one of the build. And that's essentially it right there. So, get that off my sitting area, and we're going to get going here. Now we got to put this on the top. So we're going to have to do that. I forgot to do that next, so we're still on bag 6. So for indexing purposes, I got to undo the time there. And then we'll point this up here. You can see what I'm doing. And then this part here, you're going to have a pole that hangs over here, like that. At least it's modular. You can take it apart. But I mean, I wouldn't be swimming in that if I were you. Would not be safe at all. And I will put it on the turntable before we're done here. Okay, so now we're doing a garden. We only got one spot left, so we know where the garden's going to go. And stick that directly on the plate. I kid you not. What a waste of a good leaf piece too, huh? There's not a whole lot in this bag here. Yeah, I do sound kind of boring tonight. And I had that 3 or 4 day weekend, and that was a 4-day weekend, and now I'm back to doing the work stuff again. And got some solar panels, and those are printed too. I need to order some of these, like order a few more. Not the ones with the clips, but they do make them with the 1x4 flat tiles. Okay, and this one here goes up on the roof. I'll show you here where it goes. Goes right here. So the garden is just something to look at. We can crawl for that little hole and go out there and visit the solar panels if you want. There you go. I think that's it. We're blasting through this set here. Now, I'm just going to leave it here because there's something that hangs down right here, and it just involves this. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to tile it right here by the pool. And you're going to need a bunch of these, 10 of them. So I think the last steps are going to be decorations and stuff like that, just accessories. So bag 7, I think, is just to finish it up. I don't know if Padme's gonna like that. Yeah, next time I'll have to start requesting for more Star Wars. I actually put it on my list of sets I'd like to review. If it's the old classic Star Wars or the Star Wars 1, 2, and 3, I'm familiar with, but if it's the newer ones, I'm not. And that's the kind of play that I'm after. Is something that we can have fun with. That's what Lego's about. I'm not wanting the Star Wars because it'll be worth something. I want the Star Wars to put a storyline with it. You know. That could just be easier doing it like this. Now I'll stick this one here. Yeah, I was looking at Legoland. The Legoland Resort where you get to rent the room out, and they have a special surprise that you can get in the room, like Legos to build and stuff, or Lego. And I thought, oh man, I don't know if I can take that from a kid, but I just want to go see what the thing is like and just to kind of experience it. There's this one person that I know, and she ends up taking her daughter to Legoland, and she wasn't very too grateful on it. I thought, man, you're lucky. I can't find anybody to go with me because nobody's interested in it. And she didn't like it. She wanted to go to Disneyland. She's one of those entitled people. Little girl and stuff like that. I'm like, be lucky. Your parents want to take you out on a trip like that. You know, I mean, my parents, they didn't care much for the Lego stuff, and now they know I do it for an art medium, that they're different about it, but it's like my buddies and stuff, they're not really even interested in this at all. What is this, some kind of keg? Like a beer keg? Or wait a minute, this is probably a patio. We're building a little barbecue on this. Talking about basic, but no, I was just kind of, when I read a thing on the Facebook about it, and she kind of threw a tantrum about going to Legoland versus Disneyland or something like that. I'm like, I would have literally just been excited just to do that. And we have a fork. You get two metallic forks. Okay, but you use one for the thing here. I got my dirty hands on the fork, and then this goes here. Now what does this thing here do? It can't be a little, like an outdoor stove. It's kind of the wrong color. I mean, it could be if you want to pretend that it is. Oh, that's what it is. Well, this will be a hint. But no, I was like, she did not want to do it at all, and I thought, are you kidding me? I would have been ecstatic. My parents took me to Disneyland back in the 80s, and that just fell off. I was happy. And we went to Knott's Berry Farm, went to SeaWorld. I still remember those trips. All right, you got to be careful with these things. Are barely hanging on here. Do you really want those leaf pieces to be that close to that barbecue grill? Pad made me burn down the palace, huh? And then we're just going to build these, and we're going to put these both up here at the same time. It's asking me to put that up there, but we'll do that later. But no, I kid you not, this little girl was just so entitled. And well, I got one of these here. Oh, there it is. So I think we're missing one whole piece out of this. I'll check the floor to be safe, but I thought, man, you better be glad you're not my kid. Because I would have just canceled the reservations and say, there you go. You're going to sit at home the whole summer without anything fun to do. I would take away the internet. Should have to watch basic TV. Well, that's all I have here anyways. It would not be fun. I wish my parents were healthy enough and still around to do that. Must be a little table there. No, maybe not. Well, maybe it is. It's probably some kind of a drink. Okay. And we have some of these flowers I forgot to put on there. But yeah, I read that on there. It's like, you're kidding me, right? Stayed in the Legoland Resort and then complaining about it. And that would not float with me at all. Some of us, people like myself, would kill to have a family. Okay. Let's keep that out here because we got to put some stuff together here. And let's get this going. Now, I don't ever rearrange the builds because I always focus on exactly how the manual puts together. So this part goes up here, and that's essentially it. And then I think it just shows you where all the minifigures go in the build. So I think the best thing to do is maybe stage this thing up. So I'm going to find the turntable thing, and we're going to do that now. Okay. It's easier to do the reviews and stuff on here, and praying these flimsy builds don't break apart. Because this thing is not the most sturdiest thing in the world. Don't worry, you'll see more of it here in a second. And I think we're zoomed out. Now I'm going to bounce the camera away for you. This may not be the best view possible, but we're going to take a look here. And we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use the external light. So remember that light that I kind of wired up? Well, we're going to use that too. Plug that in there with all its wires hanging out. And all right. There. Oh. All right. So, now of course I could just use a flashlight with the wire nuts, but that's pretty much what it is. And so far it's not too bad. Yeah, with this extra light, if I take the light away, look how dark that is inside, and I do that. So just imagine if I actually had this set up in such a way. I was thinking about facing it with facing the wall. And that's facing the wall right there. So just kind of tinkering. So I'm just, it's about 3 feet away. So we got the carport area for the bicycles and the recycling place. Here's the little living room area. And you got to crawl through little holes. Or there's glass in there. You can't even get to the kitchen. So you have to walk out through the void and try to get through this little hole here. And then we got the little outdoor patio with the really flimsy pool. And here's your bedroom. There's the bathroom. And up here is the little outdoor roof patio thing right there. Now, it's playable. You can see we have access to all the floors. We got the store down here that's kind of lacking there. But for the most part, it is a nice build. Now, you got your minifigures and stuff. Let's just toss these in here. We don't care about the brick separator. So, really, how many of these do you get here? And we were only missing one piece. Some of the pieces were scratched up. That's what kind of the thing that turned me off on this at the end. Okay, despite what we have here, you have a bicycle, you have a scooter, and you have 6 minifigures right there that you could barely see. And I'm gonna have to bounce the camera back, and I don't think it's focused. We're gonna focus it in for you here. Like I said, these are really crude. And as you can tell, making sure we're not battery's not low or anything, it shouldn't be. So you get 6 minifigures, it's fully playable, and just like with the city center, it's not really meant to be moved around. So we're just going to jump in the rough review for play value. And as you can tell, you can play with it. You got your recycling area, your store, kitchen, living room, bedroom, and bathroom. So you got all the essentials for an apartment, just one apartment. You also got the roof area too here. So that's essentially what it is. You got greenery. And one of the things I'm looking at is it colorful? It is catching my eye. This white, I don't know. I think they were just trying to match the window frames on this, but they could have just got something a bit different to keep it more colorful. But for play value, you do have a lot of minifigures. So I'm going to say the play value is excellent on this one. City drop-in value, goodbye. No, it's not finished up. Maybe if you got a couple of these, you probably could. But this is essentially just what it is. For mock value, there is a couple of ideas that I can pull out of this, but nothing of my building taste. So maybe you could grab some ideas, but this is very basic. So for mock value, I'm going to say, I mean, it does have possibilities. Maybe the bathtub and the toilet. But it's just, everything's pretty basic in this one here. Now for build quality, it seems sturdy and depends on how you pick it up. But this, for being kind of modular, I would not try to pick this thing up. And let me get that. I'm going OCD on it here. And for what it is, it's fine, but for $94.99, this should have been built a little more sturdy. If you pick this up the wrong way, it's going to come crashing down. So get yourself a turntable to put this stuff on. Okay. And yeah, that's all I can recommend on that one. And for the build experience, like I mentioned, I had fun putting this together, so the build experience is really good. I'm looking for build experience, and is it modular? And yes, this one is pretty much modular, so everything's isolated until the final pieces that you have to put them on here. but it is staged up in such a way that you can get up to 7 people to build this at one time. Okay, so even if you don't have this piece built yet, you can still build these few items and place them on the build. Okay, I want to see more family builds Lego because these are always fun to do. So stickers weren't too bad at all and stuff like that. So let's start with my final score. In my final score, the pieces are scratched. Some of the stuff here is kind of flimsy. I'm going to say an 8.8. Would have been a 9.8 if the pieces were in pristine, but no, an 8.8. And that's what I'm sticking with there. And, you know, I can even see the scratches just with using this light. Unacceptable on that one. But now, is it worth $94.99? No, I don't think it's worth that much. I'm going to say probably about $60. But that's it. I mean, it's incomplete to me, and it's just... The only thing it is, you get a lot of accessories. The minifigures, the scooter, the bike, and some of the other stuff in here. But $60, $65 at the very most. $95 for this is just a little too much. But for the fact that it is modular, something you can build with your family, you know, you can have multiple people build this. It'd be good, like a little afternoon project. I'd say, yeah, it may be worth it for you. But for somebody like myself, I'm going to be honest, $95 is a bit too much. But tell me what you think of the set. I mean, for me, I don't know. Oh, that's kind of pretty there, huh? At least it's LED and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to find a way to keep this light up here and just kind of keep it back about this far. As you can see, I can see right inside there, and it's brighter. And my others, if I turn this off, that's dark. You know? So tell me what you think of the light and what you think about the set. So for me, if I were to run out and get this, if I saw it for $95, I'd just walk right by it. But I want to hear what you think.